Episode 119. Happy Friday. This is a live recording of the Client by Client podcast. We're talking about creating one path to getting clients. We're going to hop right in and get straight to it. Hey, what's up? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. In the last episode, we talk about how to avoid looking try hard. And we talk about what happens when you lose control of, don't have control of, or aren't conscious of this one concept that perception is reality. And what I'm not saying in yesterday's episode, in the last episode, is to fake it, is to copy others, is to walk around with some bravado. But what I am saying is that when you create the wrong perception and you create a perception of desperation or that you are trying too hard, it gets really hard to not only land clients, it gets really hard to experience these leap stones of growth. That's how I'm going to explain it here today, where you leapfrog normal growth through joint ventures, partnerships, public speaking, and guest podcast opportunities. It gets really hard to land those things when you don't have the right kind of reputation, or when your reputation has been tarnished. So head back one episode to understand this concept in full, to make sure you aren't making any of these mistakes and what to do instead. In today's episode, I want to talk about the importance of creating one path to get clients. If you don't get today's episode right, the first thing that happens is that prospects drop off, is that you generate leads and those leads never go on to become clients. And that's frustrating because it gets really hard when you have multiple paths that you're trying to attract clients in. It gets really hard to pinpoint where and what to actually fix to not experience that drop off and to actually get clients signing up. The second thing that happens is that none of your funnels convert into paying clients. And that's frustrating because all of the technology, all of the mind power that goes into creating a converting pipeline, into creating one smooth flow that takes suspects to prospects and to paying clients, it takes a lot of energy to do all those things, to mastermind it and to put it all together. So it takes a lot of energy, and that energy gets wasted and no one ends up becoming your next client. Now we know what happens if you don't get this right. Prospects drop off and none of your funnels convert into paying clients. Let's talk about some concepts for how to fix that and what to do instead. What we are not going to do here in this episode is put together the perfect funnel for you. Because this is an audio podcast and because these are concepts that we teach in the Get Clients program, and we draw these things out and map out and help you put the numbers pen to paper and figure out each of these steps. And because we have free trainings over in the Leverage Coach community, visual trainings that you can go through and models that you can implement in order to bring this to life. The first thing that I do want to talk about when it comes to creating one path to getting clients is this is important, firstly, because you are limited in time. And if you are constantly trying to put together new funnels and new pipelines and new methods for signing up clients, number one, you're probably not aware that you're doing it. And I did this for years without being aware that I was making such a big mistake. And almost every single coach that comes my way that's ever signed up with me, when we figure out how they're getting clients, there's always more than one way. And because of that, and because you're limited in time in your business, there's never one that's working as best as it possibly could, because you're spending all of this time creating new funnels or trying to optimize others, or you make one and you leave the other one behind, and then so you make another. And so here's what I mean by that, is that when you're getting started and your surest path to 30K is through a application funnel that leads to a strategy call. It's through a sales call at the end of the day that is your fastest path to your first 30K and to getting to 30K a month in your online business. What winds up happening is that in the process, so you have some resistance against selling yourself, selling your services, and selling to your prospects. And so you look at all the things that you could do in the beginning of your day, and you have your Calendly set up, and you have a way that people could book a call with you, but you get distracted and you see someone doing webinars, so you think you have to do webinars, or you see your favorite coach doing master classes, so you think you have to do master classes, or you see that someone's doing workshops or mini workshops, and so you get to work putting that all together on your own, when at the end of the day, you still have to do the thing that you're resisting, which is selling people. And no, I'm not saying that you're putting your paid offer down people's mouths, but you're putting your free offer, your come book a call with me offer, and you're promoting it in a way and having conversations with real human beings with real teeth and that can actually fog up a mirror, that are living and breathing, to invite them to the next step, which is to book that call with you. Once you set up your booking call funnel, your application funnel, your only job is to get people to that point, and to, as long as possible, or until you hit 30K a month, be getting as many people in line to experience that and to go through that, and optimizing everything that you can to do that. The issue is that you're going to see people selling mini products. You're going to see people put together a book. You're going to see people launch their workshops or their webinars or do whatever new thing, and you're going to think that's the right next step for you. When in all reality, your only next step is to get to 30K through the one funnel that you have, and through booking calls and getting people into conversations with you in the DM to talk about what working together could look like, and then booking a call to see if or how you can even help them. Thing number one is you're limited in time. And because you're limited in time, you have to focus on one funnel. If you don't have 5 people around you, and if you're below 30K a month, like the 99% of you listening to this right now, all 3 of you, I know the math doesn't add up to that, but I think you get what I'm saying here. You don't have enough time to optimize all of those funnels. You don't have the amount of manpower to optimize all of those funnels. In fact, you probably don't have enough data beyond fixing, tuning, and making a high converting singular funnel. So thing number one, you're limited in time. And so that's why you got to be creating just one slippery slope, one path, one energetic flow for people to go from just finding out about you and being a little suspect to considering working with you and then becoming a paying client. Second, by chasing 2 birds, you get none. The second you introduce another way for people to buy products from you, to get coaching from you, to get help from you in some way, you have now done this magical thing that we call splitting your focus. And a split focus does not work. There is the perception when it comes to like the web browser on a computer and phones and tablets and technology, when you're browsing the web, like tabs at one point weren't a thing. And I know it's regular in every single browser now, from desktop to mobile. At one point in time, that wasn't a thing. You needed a new window for each website that you were visiting. And people thought that with multiple tabs, and then by introducing multiple screens and doing all of this thing that's called, this myth that's called multitasking, that you could get more done. But the exact opposite thing happened, in that most people using multiple tabs and multitasking and having multiple screens, they got less done. There's too much data now. There is split focus. And when you don't see one thing through to completion and see it through to its total optimization, you never get to experience the fruits of the labor. And it seems like when you're working on 2 projects that you're making great progress. But when you time that compared to someone who's focusing on one thing, that person is going to get one thing done and experience the energetic win, that dopamine release of getting something done, and be more motivated to get into project number 2 and get that one done. Meanwhile, the other person was working on both projects at the same time, but not really making nearly as much progress as someone who's focused in on one thing. This is why we have the 7 ones that we talk about here in my world, on this show, in the Leverage Coach community. Because one, and focusing on the singularity, is your fastest path to success. The 7 ones, to recap, is helping one person, right? One niche, with one goal, with one offer, with one way for people to find you, with one way to convert them, focusing for 1 year on the singular focus on all of those things, and then for 1 hour a day minimum, focusing on creating conversations and having conversations with real living human beings. This is your fastest path. And everything else that's not inside of there, or that splits the focus down the middle, is going to double at best how long it takes for you to get to that 30K a month. to get to $1 million a year. I know 30K a month doesn't get you there, but with whatever your goal, whatever way you want to chunk it down, at best, it's going to take you twice as long to get there. By chasing two birds, you get no birds. That's why it's so advantageous to focus on this. And this is the opposite of what your instincts are going to tell you. And this is why most coaches never experience a 30K month. They never get to 30K month consistently, nor do they ever experience $1 million business or $1 million year. By chasing two birds, you get none. Third, if you create multiple paths to try to attract people in, you have your webinar on your website, you have a way for people to book calls with you, you have a master class, you have your fancy checkout pages. By doing all of this, you really are only doing one thing. One, you're wasting time. But moreover, you're creating market confusion. You're creating prospect confusion. Because the second you have to make more decisions, the longer a decision will be delayed. I'm a big fan of In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out Burger has the most simple menu you will ever see, and I can tell you it in a couple words, which is hamburgers, cheeseburgers, sodas, or milkshakes, and fries. I've just told you the entire menu, but you can mix and match and do all of these things probably hundreds of thousands of different ways. They have a little secret menu as well, but it's just combinations and variations of all the ingredients that go into those few things that I just told you. When you look at their menu, it's, do you want a single cheeseburger, a double cheeseburger, or a hamburger? And you can add patties. You can do all of these things. Do you want fries or not? You want a drink or not? That's it. And like, I think that's one of the reasons why people love In-N-Out Burger so much is its simplicity. And they follow through on that simplicity in the quality of their ingredients. They follow through in the simplicity in their employment structure and how they operate their kitchens and how they do the food. And because of that, when you go there, even if it's your first time, you're clear in what the process is and in what you're getting. And so therefore your satisfaction is way more likely to be met than by going to one of these jack of all trades fast food restaurants or other restaurants. And I think In-N-Out compares a lot better with higher end restaurants and sit down places than they do with fast food. So it's through them knowing what they're best at and completely doubling down on it that they're able to do that. They are incomparable to many other places. And there are some people who totally do not like In-N-Out and they just totally don't get it. And they want more, they think they want more options and all these things. No, you don't. That leads to confusion at a mass scale. And that macro also filters down into micro. And so when you have multiple ways for people to engage with you that they have to sit there and think through, and there's not one way that you're able to beat the drum of every day for people to get help from you, and by having a clear singular marketing message, let alone having a singular path for people to discover you, to understand if working with you is the right next thing, and to actually sign up with you, it gets really hard to get clients. And so many of you are capable of serving so many more people. The issue is that we layer in all of these other things that are not you being of true service to other human beings and people in your market. When you start thinking about ClickFunnels and you start thinking about webinars and you start thinking about what your website needs to look like, that is all taking away from your only duty. Once you've designed your offer, once you know who it's for, once you've set up your call booking funnel, and that's of going and actually talking to real human beings and letting them know that you have a way that you can help them. Why don't we have a chat around that and see if or how that's possible? And even if they don't sign up, if you are the right person for them, they will come to you in due time and they will know exactly what to do, where to go, and how to reach out to you to sign up with you. And you need one slippery slope for people to go from discovering you, where they come across you on Instagram, they see your Facebook group, they come across your Facebook profile. On one platform, and the easiest way is also having one social media platform and not focusing on all of them. It's having one way for people to discover you. And when they get there, it's a slippery slope. They start binging on your content. And most of your content has a call to action. All of that call to action at the end of the day, whether they're aware of it or not, is leading them to booking a call with you. So on your Instagram, just sell the next step. On your Facebook, on your TikTok, just sell the next step, which is typically going to be a lead magnet of sorts. And I didn't plan on talking about all this, but let's get into the weeds a little bit. Give them the next step to do. Very few people, yet 1,000 people, maybe a half of a person will ever go from just finding you to actually becoming a high ticket paying client. So what's that next step? Well, if they're liking your content, you give them something for free. A lead magnet. Easiest one for you is going to be a PDF, a checklist, a script, something that's going to help them get 1 inch closer or to understanding even further the pains and problems and understanding that there is a solution. A PDF guide is one of the easiest ways that you could do. I like video, so video is easiest. If you like talking or video, find the easiest way that allows for you to communicate that message. And then double down on getting people to experience it. And then inside of that thing should tee up what that next step is, which is going to be a combination of one of two things. It's either having a conversation with you in the DM, and so you invite them to send you a word, or you invite them to send you a message to book a call, or you give them that Calendly link right then and there, or your Acuity, or whatever it is that you're using to book a call with you. Better, you don't bank on people going through your lead magnet and booking a call with you. You give them the thing, because few people are ever going to go through your lead magnet as good as you could possibly ever. You could have the best lead magnet in the world. Few people are ever going to read that thing to completion, let alone double click on it, tap on it, or open it to even start consuming it. Knowing that, you create content that gets people to have a conversation with you. So you tee up your lead magnet and your free content, and you invite people to send you a direct message or to comment a word to get that thing. And now you don't need landing pages for that thing. I just saved you a whole bunch of money and made your life so much more simple. They send you a DM on Facebook, they send you a DM on Instagram, they message you on TikTok, or they leave the word that you're asking them to. And then you have a conversation with them and get to know them really quickly. And then you ask them for permission for you to share the link with them so that they can go and get that PDF. And if you're just starting out, don't put this behind an email gate where people have to give you their email or their phone number or any of that. You already have them in your DM. It's even better. You're already having a conversation with them, which is the point of getting the email. So don't put hurdles in the way. These are bonus tips for you, extra credit for you today, extracurricular stuff for you today. Give them that lead magnet. When they say, yes, please send it to me. And then if they don't ever respond to you, you can save the time, or you can follow up and say, hey, are you there? Hey, is everything okay? And then they say, oh, my bad. Yes, please send me the link. I'm dying to read it. And then you give them the link and you tell them what to do. Go there and download it, and then message me here with your biggest insight. That way you can tee up. Maybe some of them will read it and go through it and they follow up with you. This is them coming to you. Or you circle back with them 24 hours later and say, hey, what did you think? What was your biggest insight? What was your biggest takeaway? Were you able to download the thing? Okay, awesome. And then you can have a conversation with them and ask them a couple more things, and then invite them to that next step. See if they're even open to some help in the DM. Again, a DM with someone is way more powerful than an email for the overwhelming majority of you listening to this episode here in 2023, in 2024, and beyond. Trust me on this. I know you want to feel like the big shot and have people go into your website and see the traffic go up and you want to sell passively. There is none of that anymore. People have been out sales paged, out emailed opt-in, out emailed newslettered, out. They know what's going to happen in the email, which is your message is just going to junk. And if you have them already there in a conversation with you, already consuming your free content, already consuming your free lead magnets, you're so much further along than you're actually aware of. Your only job is to ask them the right next couple questions to see if they're open to some help, and invite them to a free call with you, which is all added free value for them. And then walking them through the strategy call process that we've talked about in previous episodes. I don't have the exact number here up with me. If you want that, just send me a DM. I'll let you know what episode it is. And the 9 steps for actually getting someone from not even really considering working with you to at the end asking you, can you help me? How much does it cost? Do you have room for me? Let's get started. And these are all the magical things that you need being said to you. This is how you avoid being salesy and you instead be of service. In the next episode of Client by Client, I want to talk about these habits that are killing your progress in business and in life. So be sure to come back tomorrow to that next episode. Whenever you are ready, here are a couple ways I can help you grow your online business. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches, are you still managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, and your email inbox, where you're losing leads in the cracks and leaving a lot of money on the table every single month? That's why I created GetBookedCRM. What started out as a free way for me to manage my pipeline and turn prospects into clients has quickly become a favorite tool of my private students and many members in the Leverage Coach community. To download your free copy now, just find me on Instagram and send me the letters CRM. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got hundreds of coaches from all over the world, all implementing my methods and strategies for starting and growing an online business. Get access to them, access to me, and access to free resources to help you start and grow yours. For your free invitation now, just find me on Instagram and send me the word group. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting a couple coaches together this month to implement my methods and frameworks for injecting a minimum of 15K worth of new clients or doubling your existing client roster base over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But working with the right people is super important to me. So this is only for you if you are a relationship-focused coach who always puts the human ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 6 months to a year. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically from social media every month without wasting money and time on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on a social platform, email list, or Facebook group. You are willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last but most importantly, you can keep a secret. If that's you, I want you to grab your phone right now, tap that Instagram app icon, find me at WhatUpJeremy, and message me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business and about your vision for the next 12 months. Then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the program, how we're already helping students from all over the world, and we'll identify what part of the program will likely make the biggest impact on your business the soonest. That way you know what to expect. For all the details now, just find me over on Instagram and send me the words case study. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next one. Cheers. All right, team, big thanks. Happy Friday. Hope your weekend plans are exciting and hope your week went great. See you guys back on Monday. Cheers.